Hello, everyone. So welcome back. Chapter 9. Chapter 9 is about the strategy and the strategic planning. Chapter 9, we will focus on the strategy. The strategy, and then tactics. Sometimes like they are confusing, right? When we talk about the strategy, the destination, all right, it is the goal, right? And then of the company, and then how we are going to get there, long-term goal, and then show us the path, right? But the tactics is more about the action, okay? And then describe the specific action we are going to take along this way, the steps to achieve that goal. Chapter 9, we will cover something, some natural of the strategic planning, all right, high level. And then we will talk about the environmental analysis. We mentioned about the general environment, the task environment, and then we have talked about the competitive force, right? So we will focus on the competitive force, and then how we can, use this so-called the SWOT, SWOT, SWOT analysis, right, to define, to develop our strategy. Later on, we will talk about a little bit corporate strategy, business strategy, functional strategy, again, different level. And then you will see this is still the strategy. To the corporate level, we set up our vision and the mission, right? And then the business, we will have the strategy to support, to aid our corporate goal, corporate strategy, right? And then the functional strategy will support the business strategy. We will make some examples. The very last section, we talk about the implementation and control. So far, we have talked about the strategic planning, right? Planning, not yet the implementation, not yet the controlling. But anyway, without implementation, without the controlling, we all know the planning is still on the paper, right? By blah, blah, you cannot achieve anything. In my opinion, planning is important process, but also implementation and then controlling are also very important. So equally important. Let me try to explain you what is the strategy, what is the tactic. Strategy, the goal, right? More about the organization goal, more about the destination, and then try to describe how the company or how we are going to there. Tactics are very specific, right? Are the actions. How we understand the different level. First of all, the strategies can be different level. We have the corporate, right? The group, the company, big company. We have the business, the strategic business unit strategy, and then we will have our functional strategy. For example, marketing strategy. We will have our let's say that the HR strategy. Let me tell you the simple way to understand that. The strategy, we need the synergy. So somehow when you hear about when you hear the strategy, oh, this is the big target, the big goal, right? But you don't know who do what. Let me give you a concrete example. Walmart, their strategy somehow, so everyday low price. Once you hear this strategy, can you define who do what? You cannot. It sounds like a lot department, a lot functions need to be involved, right? Yes. So that's why this is the strategy. But if they try to describe the actions, okay? So procurement department, they needed to negotiate low input price, right? Purchasing price. All right, this is specific. I would say those are the tactics. I repeated it several times. I hope you guys understand it better. The strategy is what the organization wants to achieve. And then it will also show you how to achieve that, the bigger picture. The strategy will have several components. Somehow, like we say, 4 components. Some other books, they said that the 3 components are very similar, all right? We just go ahead to show you one by one. Scope, our firm want to, to compete, all right? Right, so what business we are in, right? What, whatever, what industry or what operation, what business we are in. And then when we talk about the resource, right? We need the, the capital, we need what? We need the time. In 5 years, in 3 years, it's the time, right? And then about what? About the other resource, we can say like a physical capital, physical resource, trying to show our strengths, right? Everyday low price. This is already the core competence. We describe this as like, we call this like a USP, unique selling proposition, sales proposition, okay? So always keep this advantage in mind. The last component we talk about the synergy means that not only one department, but one function. We need the whole company from top to bottom, right? From different functions, like we were all engaged trying to contribute. Once we talk about planning, and then we will talk about the implementation for sure. Formulation is developing the plan, right? And the implementation is executed the plan. You know that we will have the goal setting, we will formulate the strategy, right? And then in the controlling phase, we will have the implementation, we will have the monitoring, right? Trying to make sure this is like a complete circle. In the next section, we will talk about different levels of strategy. It is a big company. We will have corporate level or corporate strategy, okay? So this is for the whole organization. The business strategy is for the business unit. We have introduced the strategic business unit. It has own, like a strategy, right? Actually, the example I will give you is about the Yum brands. The corporate, they have the strategy. For each of the restaurant chain, they have their own strategy. Like we'll talk about the Pizza Hut. They want to be the tastiest, right? They want to be the, like easiest for ordering, right? Fastest for delivery, tastiest for the, the pizza, right? And then they want to be the #1 in pizza. They compete with whom? With Domino, with Little Caesar, right? With Papa John, those big four pizza companies. So they have their own, let's call it, business strategy. Functional strategy, we have talked about, marketing strategy, pricing strategy, all right? We will have something we call like HR strategy, human strategy, right? So those are comparatively specific, okay? But those are like more support the business strategy. And then the business strategy support the corporate strategy. The corporate level, comparatively difficult to define the one strategy for all. So the corporate level strategy, they already defined, for example, Yums, they already defined the strategy for Pizza Hut, for Taco Bell, for KFC. Like for Pizza Hut, they can take the corporate strategy, right? And then develop their comparatively specific business strategy. And then also the functional strategy, most of the time, once you talk about you ask Pizza Hut, what is your business strategy? They will tell you something regarding the marketing strategy, all right? They will talk about, we want to have different varieties of pizza, all right? Different tastes of pizza. We want to serve give you the faster delivery service, something like that. But actually you see, this is why the business strategy, somehow they will use the corporate strategy, or they will use the functional strategy, make it like a business strategy, okay? So anyway, I will show you the example in a minute.